What's going on, beautiful people? I hope you guys are doing excellent today. I am Carrington Brown, your relationship expert. And today I want to talk about marriage, right? And when we look at marriage today, what I want to talk to you guys about is a couple of the commitments, really primarily three of the unspoken commitments that you make in marriage that a lot of times we don't talk too much about, right? When we get married, we know the wedding vows, we know the I do's, we know it's going to be some ups, some downs, some lefts, some rights. But a lot of times we don't really pinpoint or expose ourselves to conversations with married people regarding what types of things do you really have to do and look forward to and are going to experience and have to face in marriage together. So what I want to do today is give you guys three unspoken truths or unspoken commitments that you have to make to your spouse or with your spouse when it comes to marriage. So let's go. So first one is this. One unspoken commitment that you have to make in marriage is to your spouse's trauma. Right. I tell couples that, hey, when you say I do, you're also saying I do to the trauma of your spouse and the progression and their growth from their trauma. Because as people, when we've experienced traumatic experiences that we have yet to heal from, though the residue of what we went through is still there. Therefore, in order for you to really love somebody and accept somebody and stay in a covenant marriage with somebody, you have to say I do and commit to their trauma and commit to walking with them on the journey of freeing themselves from their trauma. And the reason why it's so valuable and understand and so necessary for you to understand and recognize that is because a lot of people get married expecting things to get 100% better, expecting things to be totally different, expecting for all of their challenges or struggles and issues to go away. But in actuality, if it hasn't been dealt with or taken care of before you get married, then it's just really going to be highlighted at a higher level when you get married. And so when you say I do, you can't just think about that person and their level of attractiveness and the qualities about them that you love. You also have to look back on the trauma that they've experienced and ask yourself, am I willing to commit to walking with them on the journey of growing out of and healing from the traumas that they've been through, right? So one of the unspoken commitments that you make in marriage is to your spouse's trauma. A second unspoken commitment that you make in marriage is to your spouse's struggles. Now, when we look at struggles, when we look at addictions, when we look at challenges and issues that your spouse may be struggling with, if they're struggling with it while they single, and if they're struggling with it while they're dating, they're going to still be struggling with it in marriage until it's dealt with. And so as a spouse, you have to choose to be intentional about walking with that person past and beyond their struggles, right? Prime example for me, if y'all know my story, one of my challenges and issues was pornography and masturbation. And as a result of not dealing with that proactively, I was under the impression that, hey, and I talked about this in my book, Prepare for Her. And I was like, like marriage is the solution to my issue. So I don't have to really deal with this thing outside of just getting married, because once I get married, I can actually have sex with no conviction. Everything is going to be all right. But as I wrote about in my book, once I said I do to my wife, that struggle and that issue and that challenge and that addiction said I do too. And so if you're getting married to somebody, you have to understand that, hey, you're also getting married to their struggles, their addictions that have yet to be dealt with, right? So once again, the first one is you're going to be committed to their trauma. Second one is you're going to be committed to their struggles. And the last one is this, the unspoken, and this ain't really unspoken because I think that now married couples and even a lot of pastors are really now like honing in on this piece and really talking about it more. But another commitment that you have to make in marriage is to dying. In marriage, death is necessary, right? You have to die to yourself. You have to die to your flesh intentionally in marriage. And the reason why is because in order for you guys to become one, you have to let go of something. You have to release something. You have to deal with something. And because marriage is a mirror, then what's going to happen is if you don't know right now what you're going to have to deal with and let go of and get rid of and overcome, then once you get married and say, I do, the experience and the closeness of that relationship is going to expose to you everything that you need to see about yourself that you need to deal with. And so when we have to understand that when we get married, marriage is about mission. And a part of the mission is serving your spouse in overcoming their trauma, serving your spouse in overcoming their struggles and addictions, serving your spouse in the area of you dying to yourself so that they can also learn from you how to doubt it themselves, right? And in order for you to accomplish the mission of marriage that God has for your marriage, you have to be intentional about walking in those things, while at the same time understanding that you supporting and walking with somebody to overcome struggle, to overcome trauma, that does not mean that you're the answer to their healing. That just means that you're supposed to guide them if necessary, but more importantly, be a kickstand and support system for them as they go through that thing. But the better solution would be for both parties to be intentional about being proactive in regards to their healing and their wholeness, so that when you guys come in marriage, the trauma has been dealt with, the addictions and struggles have been dealt with, and from the dying perspective, both of you guys are mutually reciprocating the submission necessary to actually thrive in this marriage in a way that God desires for you. All right. So thank you so much for tuning into this video. I hope it served you and blessed you. If you know somebody that needs it, go ahead and click that share button and send it their way. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. If you don't follow me on all social media platforms, I'm at TheCarringtonBrown. And if marriage is a desire of yours, but you don't really know where you are as it pertains to being prepared for it, click the link in the description box below and take the free Are You Prepared for Marriage quiz. It's going to tell you exactly where you are when it comes to your marriage preparation. But then along with that, give you tools and perspectives to actually grow in these areas, so that when the time comes for you, you're the exact version of yourself that you need to be attractive to the individual, the man or the woman of your dreams that you're attracted to. All right. Thank you so much once again for tuning in. I hope y'all have a blessed, productive day. I'll holler at y'all soon. Peace out.